So, an Ontario mayoral candidate, I had to slow down because mayoral is a very difficult word to say for me. Carolyn Parrish says she won't be participating in any more debates leading up to the election. Her campaign team released a statement to CBC News saying they're focusing on a positive, productive approach and engaging directly with residents instead. So here's what we want to ask. Should political candidates be allowed to opt out of debates?
What do you guys think?
No way.
Listen, as a voter, I'm going to say I agree. I think they should have to debate. We want to see them. If you're not on social media and you're not able to see them day to day, or they're not knocking on your door, you want to see all your candidates in action. I need to know, who am I voting for? What do you stand for? Right? Of course you do. However, if I was a candidate, and I was doing well in the polls, and they were like, you know what? Better do nothing because you're leading. Then I would say, no, I'm going to opt out of the debates because I'm already winning. So I'm of two minds of this. And we know that in politics, half of the game is theater, right? It's power, it's persuasion, it's theater. And so for that, we want to see our politicians doing their thing.
Just because you're good on TV or good in front of cameras? Like, I mean, Donald Trump is technically good on TV. Does that mean that he'll be a good politician?
We already have the
but
answer.
he's not good in
I know.
He's not a good debater, though. He's not a good debater.
But he still managed. Okay, so maybe that's a bad example, but I just wonder if we are. Listen, I love a good debate, and I think there's an art to a great debate. I also think we have lost that art.
I agree.
And there are also examples of the inverse examples of what you're talking about. People like Hillary Clinton, widely perceived as a pretty strong senator and secretary of state. Not a great campaigner. She just wasn't an amazing campaigner. Thomas Mulcair, former federal leader of the NDP. I mean, she lost to Trump, right? And
I know,
Thomas
but
Mulcair,
that's more about women and men. That's more about sex.
I agree, but I think I don't think she was an amazing campaigner. I think she was great in office. She should have been president. But Thomas Mulcair, the former leader of the NDP, was really an effective opposition leader or in the House of Commons. He didn't do very well in the campaign. He was seen as the heir apparent to Jack Layton. He wasn't, because that campaign did not go well. And if I was a candidate or campaign managing for a candidate who is a perceived frontrunner like Carolyn Parrish is, and if I thought they could only lose by participating in the debate, unless I'm legally compelled to have them in the debate, why would I? Like, why would I have them there?
I'll tell you honestly, as a voter, if I hear that there's a candidate, and I don't care if you're winning or losing in the polls, but if I hear that you don't want to participate, my first thought is weakness. My first thought is weakness.
And I think a lot of people would agree with you.
You don't want people to question you on what you've done or what you said you were going to do and didn't do, and that's why you want to stay away from it. Even if that person you're debating can't win, why are you so afraid of that conversation?
It's strategy, though.
Because I'll tell you something. When they're campaigning, when you're kissing babies and shaking hands, I know that you're just giving me hot air. I want to see how you handle yourself when your feet are held to the fire.
But you know what the difference is?
And that happens in debate.
But you are an engaged civic person. Do you know how many people are coming out to all these votes and elections?
I know it's low.
None of us. It's actually our fault.
No, it's true.
You just shut it down. I totally agree. I was going to say, don't you think that if you're a good debater, it follows that you're also a very good orator? Which I also think is like a lost art. And so you're able to argue a point and get people on your side. People who win debates are ones who can sway an audience and they change their mind.
Defend your stance.
And I think that's a good skill for a politician to have, especially a mayor. Think about the bureaucracy that a mayor of a small city, a big city, has to deal with. Their role is to get people on board as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So if you're a good debater, you're going to be able to know.
But the role, especially of a mayor is also the executive of a council. So just because you're great in a debate doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be great at the business of governing.
That's true. You're right. But I do need to see it. You telling me, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to knock on doors and talk to people. I'm not interested in that. Participate. This is always the way it's been done here. This is what we do. Debate. Get in there and answer all the questions.
The fact that the landscape has changed. She's not the first politician. We had Pam Damoff, who recently, she's an MP, who said she's not running for re-election. That's a huge loss for government. And part of the reason why is because of the increasing levels of abuse. And that may not be in the debate forum necessarily, but I think in this case there was some... You're opening yourself up for more, because we've seen what happens when people are in these steadfast, you know, like
Well, we know women in politics in general, we can all agree we need more women in positions of power like this. But You know, the big but is if you are a woman and you are in politics, and if you are a woman of color in politics, you get vitriol like nobody else. So I can also understand, which part of the reason apparently that she didn't go to the last debate was there are threats against her.
That's right.
Just for running for office as a woman or as anybody, you get threats. So if she feels like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay out here and I'm winning, but if she gets in, then there's a woman as the mayor of Mississauga. Good for her.
But gender's not enough. You also be qualified and good at the job.
I just think there are many ways to be good at a job, and I don't know if the debate is the only one factor.
This is a good debate.
Good job.
The debate's not the only thing. But yeah, sorry, we'll move on. We're being told to move on, so we'll move on.
We're being told to move on.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.